Oh man. Yankees lose game 4 of the ALDS and are officially eliminated. Unfortunately, man. What a rough one, man. Cam Schlittler pitched pretty good. It's just the offense did not show up. The offense absolutely did not show up for him. It just sucks, man. It sucks, but we're gonna get into it. We're gonna recap the game, and then I guess we start thinking about what's ahead for this team. Look, I mean, one of the keys of the game that I said before the start is that we needed to score early. We needed to try to be the first ones to score, like get a lead early on them. Obviously, we couldn't do that. For some reason, these guys hit, man. They had to. It seemed like every inning they got their leadoff man on. Oh man, it's gonna be tough to win like that. But Cam Schlittler still pitched very well, right? He pitched very well. Did all he could. He got no run support. And we're gonna get into that, Frank. The whole Volpe thing. Look, Volpe was absolutely terrible. He went 0 for 13 with 11 strikeouts. This is absolutely awful. And what's even more awful is the fact that in the 7th inning, when Paul Goldschmidt gets a leadoff walk, they don't pinch hit for Wells. Wells looked terrible. He could not hit the lefty to save his life, right? And then freaking, when Volpe's the whole time, I swear, I text NYYJ. I text him. I said, right now, I would pinch hit for Wells. I will bring in Rosario and bring in Caballero for Volpe. Or Bellinger, anybody, right? Anybody but Volpe. Volpe, look, I'm sorry, guys. I maybe that shot they gave him, that cortisone shot, whatever it was that he got, wore off. But he's not a Major League Baseball player, man. I'm sorry. I get he had a good wild card, right? He had a good wild card. He got that home run off of Garrett Crochet. And I don't even know. I'm not even sure, like, at this point, I'm not even sure if he hit the ball or the ball just happened to hit his bat, right? Or did the ball just happen to hit his bat? Because it's just it's tough, man. Tough. But like, I'll be honest, that's why yesterday I didn't want to get too over excited. And that's why I was telling Yankee fans, like, slow down. All right, let's slow down, because we still got 2 more games we got to win. And today, look, you go up against a bullpen game. MVP. In a bullpen game, and the whole way through, John Schneider just outmanaged Aaron Boone. Like, plain and simple, he outmanaged him every step of the way. I was waiting for Boone to bring in somebody, pinch hit for Volpe, do something to switch it up, so that way he can kind of change his game plan. His bullpen game plan went exactly how he planned it before the game. Exactly how he planned. He had the right pitches for the right lefties, and just absolutely dominated. And then it's just terrible, man. A big error by Chisholm Jr. didn't help either. It's just, look, at the end of the day, shout out. Look, before I even do that, right? Shout out to the Blue Jays, right? They were the better team. I don't care what anybody wants to say. Maybe on paper we have more names. They were clearly better. They outplayed us. They kicked our asses, right? You got to give it to them. So you got to tip your cap to them. And right now, I'm watching them celebrate on our field, which is a shame. Every year, the last 3 seasons we made it to the postseason, they celebrated on our field while we were in the freaking clubhouse crying. Look, they taking group fit pictures, and it's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing. But let me get to the super chat. Willie G, man, shout out to you, man. The absolute best beer I ever bought for a friend. It's tough to win in New York, you guys. Oh yeah, man, it's even tougher to lose though. But shout out to you guys, man. Like, hey, you guys, look, the team, they're just better. They were the better team. You got to tip your cap to them. Look, offensively, that's why I said the only way we win this series is if we outslug him. And we couldn't do that. We clearly couldn't. We could even come close to them offensively. I want to take this time though to give a huge shout out to Aaron Judge. Aaron, look, can we put all that postseason or he's a choke? All that is nonsense, bro. He proved to the world. If anything, he is the only player. He is the MVP. I know people are saying, oh, without Judge, they make it to the playoffs. No, they don't. Without Judge, they're not even a 500 team. He did everything he can do. He did everything he can do, literally. But what are you going to do when Trent Grisham can't hit to save his life? And Cody Bellinger behind him, the same thing. Bro, these guys, they abandoned him. If I'm Judge, man, I get it. He's not a saying that, but I'm pissed, man. I'm looking around like, bro, like, what's up, man? Fucking do something. And I'm sorry, I might curse a few times today because I'm not even mad at the loss. I'm not mad at Judge. I'm mad at a lot of the players. I'm mad at Aaron Boone for leaving Volpe in there for so long. At some point, you got to say, look, enough is enough. And he finally did it at the end when it was too late. When it was too late, right? And what's the deal with bringing in Jasson Dominguez? His first at-bat of the postseason, and he hits a double. And he's been sitting the whole time. And I've been saying, I'm like, look, I get it. The defense isn't there, but the kid can hit, especially from the left side. And Trent Grisham can't hit. Trent Grisham couldn't hit his way out of a wet paper bag. That's how bad he was. You know? So... yeah, but man, you got to give a huge shout out to Judge. It's unfortunate though, and it goes to show you, you can't win just by yourself. You need a team. You need people to show up. You need people to show up. And I guess for a later episode, we'll have a conversation of you know, we'll have that conversation of who should stay, who should go, and what moves they need to make and everything. But it's tough. I'm gonna say it right now. I get it. A lot of people don't think it's Boone's fault, and maybe it's not. The players got to play. You can't just score one run. The players got to play. But I will say this: this is 8 years now of this. 8 years. It's time for a change. At the very most, right? At the very least, like just to change something, we gotta make moves like that. We gotta change. We got to change it up. We got to change the culture. We got to shake things up. Will they do that? I doubt it. I doubt they'll do that. But you know, we'll see. We will see. Let me get to this betting thing since everybody keeps asking. I can see you guys. All right, so hold on, let me put this away. Yeah, I should have took a screenshot, but I can go right here. Yeah. Hold on. Let me put this up real quick. Give me a second, guys. All right. So I took the over on Aaron Judge total bases, and I hit on that. Oh my goodness, my mouse is, I think the battery's down on my mouse. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. All right. I hit on the over. I took the over for Aaron Judge total bases. I hit on that. I lost on Cam Schlittler. I took the over 5.5 strikeouts. Lost that. Jose G took the run scored. He put over. He lost that for Aaron Judge. He took the over total. No, I took the over total bases for Vlad Guerrero. I lost that. And a slow burner won Alejandro Kirk total bases. And then as far as the bets go, let's go up here. I believe slow burner won. Damn, it's not showing the points. Hold on, let me go back over here for a second. I gotta fix that. Okay, last game winner. So yeah, slow burner won. Slow burner had 14 points. I don't know why it's not putting them in order. It should be slow burner first. But yeah. Let me go over here. Yep, slow burner had 14 points. Al came in second with 9. Jose G had 6. Yassine 2, and Jacob Petruzzi 2. So congrats to Slow Burner for winning that one. He won that one. But yeah, back to the Yankees. Another failed season as the Blue Jays freaking party with the music blasted, popping champagne, spilling freaking Budweisers all over each other, while the Yankees on the other side probably just packing up their lockers. It's tough, man. I'm sick of it, to be honest. I am so sick of this team. And in the sense that I just, like, we go through the same shit every year. See, this is why I say it has to be something. I get it. The players have to play. And look, I'm not going to put all the blame on Boone or any one person, but something's got to give. The one thing that changes every year are the players. And the one thing that stays the same every year is the players don't play, right? At some point, you got to look at the leadership. Like, why aren't you getting the best out of these players? Why aren't you getting the most out of these players? Why is it that every year we give you everything you need, unlimited resources? You get unlimited resources to do whatever for the most part, and you still can't get the most out of these guys. Whether it's the pitching coach, the hitting coach, it doesn't matter. All those coaches fall under one man, and that one man falls under the other man, which is Cash Man, But anyway, I digress, right? Another tough loss, but you guys are the real winners, right? Us fans, even though we lost, we the real winners because we showed up, right? We showed up all season long. That stadium is never empty. Yankee Stadium is never, ever, ever empty. Not even in a freaking middle of July game versus the Colorado Rockies. You got 40,000 plus people in there. So shout out to the fans, man. And that's the one thing that I'll say. I feel like the Yankees organization, they don't appreciate the fans. They really don't. They don't appreciate us. They think we're a nuisance to them. Oh shit, my camera died. Hold on. Let me fix this. I'm gonna have to turn to the side. Yeah, we're a nuisance to them. Like, they're like, what are you complaining about? They're gonna spin this, guys. Oh, I can't wait for the word salad they put together and how they spin it. They already have their PR people. They've had them for weeks already preparing for this. Like, how are we gonna spin this? How do we sell this to the fans? And they're gonna come and they're gonna sell it, right? They're gonna sell it to us, and a lot of us are gonna buy it. We're gonna eat it all up because we're just that gullible and we love this thing that much. And they're gonna convince us that it was a success. It was a freaking successful year, considering the circumstances, right? That's what they're gonna say. They say it's a successful year when your ace pitcher gets hurt and your and Clark Schmidt goes down and all this, and that's what they're gonna say. But we all know, the people that have been following this team and watching this team day in, day out, pitch after pitch after pitch, we all know that that's not true. That this team has problems, and the problems that this team have had, the problems that we've had, the problems of this year, of last year, we've had these problems for almost a decade now, guys. That's the most frustrating part as a fan. Because when we come and we have the after action review and when we talk about the season during the off season, we're gonna be talking about the same shit we were talking about last off season, and last off season was the same shit we were talking about the season before that. It's like a never ending cycle. It's like we're living the same bad dream over and over and over with this team. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And I'm to the point, man. Look, I love the team, but it really gets. It gets it's exhausting, man. This team is exhausting. They really are. What's new, guys? Guess what? The Yankees offense did not show up in a postseason game. Is anyone surprised? Like, haven't we been here before so many times? I feel like we've been here before, right? Let me turn this on real quick.
You the real MVP.
I feel like we've been here before. Hold on. Hey, if anybody wants to join too, if you want to speak your mind, I got the link is pinned in the chat somewhere. It's pinned there. But Yankees for the win. Appreciate you, man. He says, go Jasson Dominguez. Happy for him. He needs just one starter. Smash like that. Smash the like button. Jays will not win the World Series. So take some grace in that. 429 CG 10K Volpe 0 for 13 11 strikeouts. I don't what does 4-29 TG 10K? I'm not sure what that means, but I know what Volpe 0 for 13 11 Ks mean. Man, it's tough. Look, and I think the whole Volpe thing is pretty much at this, but they're gonna run it. Oh man, guess what, guys? I hate to break it to you. Hold on, let me put the clown face. I hate to break it to you, but they're gonna run it back. That's the crazy part, man. That's the craziest part, that they're gonna run it back next year, bro. They're gonna run it back, and we're gonna be excited about it. And they're gonna do the same shit come summertime. They're gonna start losing like crazy, and we're gonna say, "What's going on? The June Boone swoon? What's happening?" It's the same episode over and over again. Absolutely, I don't know, man. It's frustrating. It really is disappointing too. But I would say this: the one thing that I'm happy about is that Judge had a moment. This dude's on-base percentage is 130. 130 this October. His on-base percentage is 1 freaking 30. My goodness. Why is he playing? Why? His defense ain't that good that you're just gonna be okay with this terrible offense, man. My goodness. And I don't want to hear anything because I gave him his props when he was playing good in the wild card, but my goodness, dude. He ended off in a bad note, and he had a terrible season. I'm talking terrible season. But hey, guess what, guys? Guess what? He'll be right back here next year. Right back here. So get used to it. Learn to love him, because that's your shortstop for the New York Yankees forever, it seems like, right? He's never going to go. He could do no wrong, guys. Yeah, you got Jasson Dominguez on the bench. You know, they won't even let him get a bat. He got one at bat in the whole postseason, and he showed up, right? And he showed up. Just, not good. But say what's up to the chat. I mean, I'm already way behind on all these things, but yeah, Yankees slow burner. Hey man, congrats, slow burner. You got one. Yeah, man, it's tough. Tough. I will catch you another time, Jason. We lost, but yeah, man, we got our asses whooped. Whoop. Donnie Clark says Jason slow burner is in here, but the Jays aren't winning the World Series. Yeah, man. As long as he's not, just saying crazy things, then just leave him alone. They are wasting away Judge's good years. Unfortunately, yeah, but it's like, man, hold on, Boone is talking. Let's listen to Boone.
It's a beat up room in there. They're still sharing with one another. I felt like I should come out and owe you guys this, but know that, the guys are in there still sharing with one another, because they truly became a really close team.
Man, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit,
and a really
bro.
good team. And it's the awful part of this is the journey you go on, and this has been a tough year for me personally. But all you go through to kind of become this kind of team you think can really do something special, and for it to abruptly end is always difficult.
Yeah.
And you just, it's a beautiful game that so many of us and you guys here, and certainly within our organization, every organization you pour so much into to go on this long journey, to have a chase a chase a dream and win a championship. And when it ends this way, it's always, it's terrible. It hurts. But I know for me personally, I know for a lot of those guys, it also continues to ignite your fire to want to get back and play in these meaningful games and have a chance at glory. So I thank you guys that cover us all the time and are here. And again, I want to congratulate the Blue Jays,
a great game,
and their organization. They've had a terrific year and have built an outstanding team, and credit to John and those guys. They took it to us this series.
Aaron, you look at tonight in particular, the offense did have quite a few opportunities to get that big hit. What was their staff doing that just did not allow you guys to come through in those situations?
Yeah, I mean, look, anytime you're in a bullpen game, obviously it doesn't always work, but it can be really effective because, you usually build the lineup to go face another starting pitcher. They're bringing in people to face your lineup. So you're getting guys and they have obviously a number of talented guys that, pitched effectively and, were able to, hold us down enough. And when we did have some opportunities, we're able to thwart it enough. So just obviously not our night.
Whatever, man.
What?
Whatever, man. Well, they should ask him, hey, man, why didn't you pinch hit for Volpe sooner? Why did you leave him out there? Why did you keep playing him? I get it. He was doing good on defense, but my goodness, Caballero probably gives you the same defense. And at least he has a better shot at putting the ball in play. At least put the freaking ball in play at the very, very minimum. Put the fucking ball in play. This dude struck out 11 times out of 13. My goodness. Trent Grisham, another dude. Holy smokes. Did this guy fall off the face of the earth, man? This dude came crashing down to earth, bro. He came crashing down to earth. And you're just going to keep leading him off. Just keep putting him at leadoff. Keep putting him at leadoff. Over and over and over, Judge getting all these hits. And guess what? Nobody's on base. Nobody was on base. And this dude literally batted over 500. Got the most hits, and no one was on base for him at all. Just freaking empty. Ghost town on the bases. What a freaking shame. And then the one guy who freaking hit today and was playing good and had a great catch to help Cam Schlittler and Ryan I'm gonna nickname Ryan McMonster, even though he's not a monster, but he had a home run. That was gonna be the title of the thumbnail. If we would have won, I would have called it Ryan McMonster. Right. But anyway, he's playing good, and instead of bringing in Rosario for a guy like Wells or somebody who's clearly not doing nothing at the plate, you bring it in for this guy, and then it bites him in the ass after, because immediately is a ball hit down the line. The next inning is a ball hit down the line. Rosario, you hear me? That McMahon would have got, but instead, because he pinched hit McMahon for Rosario couldn't make the play. I don't understand why you couldn't just. And he would say, well, because he wanted Rosario to play third. But even if he would have pinched hit for Wells, and then bring Caballero for Volpe, you could have still put Rosario at third. Or you could have switched. Or you just could have left him out the game, period. Or whatever it is, man. The whole thing is that I don't know how you got to find a way to get these at that point, right? Why did you wait till the last innings, man, to try to make something happen with the offense when it clearly wasn't happening? That's the thing that upsets me. It really wasn't happening. Yeah, man. But it wasn't all on Boone, man. The same way it ain't on Judge. It ain't on Cam Schlittler. Cam Schlittler showed up. He did his thing for the most part. He did his freaking thing. You can't knock him, man. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. Jazz made that error. I get it. The ball was hit hard, but you got to make that. That's a big league play. You're in the big leagues. You're supposed to make that. Ben Rice didn't do too great. A lot of those hits, those numbers were padded versus bad pitchers when it really didn't matter anymore. But yeah, man, and then, and while Paul Goldschmidt did not play a game since the first game of the wild card, even after Ben Rice was struggling for a while there too, like that game versus your Savage, Ben Rice should have never been in that game. I get it, the righty lefty, whatever, it doesn't matter, You play your best game. When a guy is struggling, I don't care if he's batting from the left side, the right side, the upside, the downside, it don't matter. He's struggling. So, and then Cody Bellinger too, he had a great season, but he was disappointing. He was very lackluster in the postseason. Very lackluster. Did not get really any big hits like that. I mean, except for the wild card, he had that one bloop, but he seemed like he was trying to hit a home run every time. His playoff swing was not the same. His playoff approach was not the same approach he had in the regular season. You could tell he's uppercutting the ball like crazy, trying to put it in the air. Instead of just doing what he was doing all season. So Ace called it booking red eyes to Cancun. Oh, man. Crazy. Just crazy, man. Tough night. Tough night. Real Bill P, what's up, man? Schlittler did awesome job. Yeah, he got no run support. You're right. The only way Schlittler would have came out of that game with a W is if he would have pitched a freaking shutout. Because we scored one run. You're not gonna win much games when you score one run. One run. Well, they ended up scoring two. My bad. Excuse me. I forgot Judge had that double at the end. It's 2 runs, right? Like Real Bill P said, off a bullpen game. Literally, we played the whole bullpen. A bullpen is not very good at that, guys. Let's be completely honest here. This bullpen is not that good. They're not that good. Yankees for the win says, go Jasson Dominguez. We did that one already. My bad. Yeah, go Jasson Dominguez. Blah, blah, blah. We got that one. Willie G. America take this to heart. Our Americans beat your Americans. What? America take this to the heart. Our Americans beat your Americans. Oh, you talking about? Well, Vladdy's Canadian, ain't he? Wasn't he born in Canada? I mean, it had to be a bunch of Americans, man, because no Canadians definitely ain't gonna beat us. Now I'm just playing, man. Yeah, but look, me personally, and this is not a knock, and this is not me being salty about us losing to the Blue Jays. I think they're gonna have a tough time winning it all this year, But I wish them the best of luck. I tell you this much, I will admit they were the better team. Anybody who tells you they weren't the better team, it's just lying to themselves. We were outplayed. And except for one game where Judge had the big hit, Judge did everything. He really did. There was nothing else. Our starters didn't give us none. None of the people that get paid so much money to do their job did anything except one man, and that's Aaron Judge. Unfortunately, it just sucks, man. It sucks. Blaze455 says Rousing, who's the Yankees hitting coach, said, I did the best I could to coach these guys and do better, be better than David Popka, Jay's hitting coach, was a 35. But the thing is, you can't really put this all on Rousing, right? The hitting coaches, first of all, there's 2 hitting coaches on that team. Most teams have 2 hitting coaches. And all these guys have their own personal hitting coaches, philosophies. These guys are professionals, right? You can give them advice and try to come to them with stuff, but they're going to do, at the end of the day, this is their careers. They do what they want, man. They're going to do what got them there, what got them to the dance, most people. Now, for the younger players, I would say, yeah, you know, a lot of these guys have a lot of influence. I think personally, the other veterans, other people, your teammates, could have more of an impact on your approach or how you're hitting than the actual hitting coach. You know, the hitting coach, they're just gonna give you suggestions. They're gonna give you suggestions. They're gonna say, hey, you know, this is what we've seen. Your hips are flying open, or whatever. Or you're doing this. Try to call here, do that. You know, and it's up to you really to do it. And I don't think it's, you know what it is? Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing, right? Every year we blame the hitting coach, and we've already been through like 6 different hitting coaches, man. Right? They keep getting fired or leaving, like Sean Casey, Dylan Lawson. That we keep going through these guys, right? We're going through all these guys. At least it makes me believe that it's not really the hitting coach himself. It's not. It's a whole look. The Yankees' problem is it's a whole organizational thing. It runs deep, right? And the only way to get rid of it, you got to cut it. You got to get it from the root. This team has bigger issues, and it's not all Boone. I will admit that, right? That's why I like, you know, and I like Michael Kay a lot. I listen to Michael Kay almost every day. I like him a lot, but when he gets me upset, when he's like, and all the guys, they're gonna say good Boone, he doesn't. What he fails to realize, it's not personal against Boone. It's not that he's doing a good job or a great job or a bad job. You know, sometimes he does a good job. Sometimes me personally, I think a lot of times he does a bad job. It doesn't even matter. Even if he's doing a good job the whole time, we're not winning with him. And every year it's the same thing. There's clearly issues with this organization. Right? And we can't fire Hal. He's not going nowhere. We can't fire Cashman unless Hal fires him. You know, the first sacrificial lamb is Boone. You know, that's why I say let's start there and see if that changes anything. Maybe sometimes all it takes is for one person to come into an organization, a company, a squad, a platoon. Like when I was in the military, one person could change the whole outlook of the whole thing, you know. I don't know. I think the Yankees need some change, man, because we've been doing this for 8 years, guys. I'm tired of it. I really am. I'm tired, and I already know they're gonna run it back, and then every year, and I go with it, but it's tiring, dude. It really is. It's like, bro, we're just gonna run it back. We're just gonna run it back next year. It might change a few players, right? Every year we change players. Every year there's different players. There's one thing that doesn't change, and that's usually the coaching staff. And even in the front office, I don't know for sure, but I'm sure there's people coming in and out of that front office, except for Cashman, right? Obviously, he's been here 30 years. We got to change something. We definitely have to change something. Michael Kay is talking right now.
Obviously big changes, and they thought that there was going to be the next step. The next step is to win, and they got knocked out in the division round. So, yeah, it's great that they're close, but really, what does that mean?
Well, what I would say is the way it manifests itself is a game
We're
like
not
yesterday,
close.
and that's why
Last year was
tantalizing
close.
going into game
This ain't
4
close.
that something could carry over from that game. But those moments were too few and far between.
Yeah, but I totally understand what you're saying, but yesterday's game had nothing to do with closeness. It had something to do with the greatness of Aaron Judge and the big home run by Chisholm. You have to have the talent. Again, the 77, 78 Yankees, they didn't get along. The Oakland A's team that won 3 in a row, they hated each other. Now, the Yankees 90s team, they did get along. I mean, it's always nice to get along, but that's not the necessity.
Jacob, you didn't win, man. Slow burn on
the field. And today they didn't do it out on the field.
Yeah, I think what he's saying, you're taking it very literally. It's in the moment that they just lost. He knows this team's never going to be together again. Right. We know that. Some of these guys aren't coming back. So I think there's a little bit of reflectiveness from Boone. You're absolutely right.
You had 2 points. You came in last. You were tied with Yasteen.
Who cares if you get last? If you get to the next round or you get back to the World Series, that's what you will be remembered for. So I think that's some of what is going on with Boone right there. He answered a question at the end from Joel Sherman of the New York Post about his future. He kind of had a little smile when he said, I'm under contract. but there will be a ton of off-season questions, some which we will cover in this show, because the Yankees were supposed to do better. They were supposed to advance more than they did, and they're going to have to answer a lot of questions about why they didn't.
Right. We will take another break here on the WB Mason postgame. More coming up as the...
But yeah, guys, I mean, yeah, look, I don't know who's saying they're close. Like, how are you close? You're getting closer. What are you talking about? You got further away, if anything. Last year we were in the World Series. Yankees for the win says, Jason, let everybody know they asked Aaron Boone if he was coming back. His response was a shrug, and I'm on the contract. Ha ha. Well, I tell you what, I really, really doubt, unless he wins a World Series next year. But that's the thing, that we got to wait a whole nother year. Even if he comes back next year, I doubt if he doesn't win something that they're going to re-up him. But who knows, though, right? See, here's the thing. The Yankees don't like to have a lame duck manager, right? And what that is just a manager who's on his last year of his contract. And that's what Aaron Boone would be on next year. So the last time that happened was with Joe Girardi. Well, actually, no, yeah. Boone has never been a lame duck manager. Last year he would have been, but they ended up extending him in the whatchamacallit, in the preseason, in spring training. And I think really the time to get rid of him, the time they should have really fired him, he was supposed to go, was when in 2023, when we didn't make that postseason, when we didn't make it, he should have never been back. And then he got lucky the next year that, obviously we had Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, and the path to the World Series was paved for us. I mean, it wasn't given. We still had to beat the Royals and the Guardians, but we didn't have the monkey on our back, which was the Astros, right? And now we got a new monkey on our back, and that's the Blue Jays, because let me tell you something, guys. They didn't just beat us. With the exception of yesterday, at least we saved face it. We didn't get swept. They smashed us the whole series. They dominated us. The pitching, and we were supposed to have the upper hand clearly in pitching. They was pitching. We were supposed to smash their pitching. And even I said it. I was their Achilles heel. And we couldn't do anything. Man, what a difference a day makes, right? Yesterday, we was freaking here celebrating. We were planning Game 5 yesterday. And now we planning freaking the off season. We planning a trip to Cancun. Cancun, man. Jose says the players sold and failed. Man, the whole organization sold and failed to me, man. Because I don't think, even though people like to say, oh, Boone was pressing all these great buttons, I don't think he really did. To be honest, Boone got saved. This whole playoffs, he got saved. The only reason he got saved by Aaron Judge, because we would have got swept if it weren't for Aaron Judge. He got saved by Cam Schlittler and Chisholm in the wild card, because he did some stupid freaking moves. That first game was it needs to be studied, right? Like, if there was a Udemy course on how to manage a ball club, they will give you that first game and say, don't try stupid shit like this, right? And then it's crazy because he will do something so bad and realize that it's so bad that then he'll revert, right? And then he won't ever sit them dudes down again, no matter what they do. And I don't know. It's one thing to have faith in players, right? But when they clearly not getting the job done, you gotta make a move, guy. You gotta make a move. And maybe it doesn't change anything, right? Maybe he pinch hits Volpe or puts Caballero in there. He does just as bad. But you gotta try at least. The same thing with Ben Rice. He was struggling for days. On this whole series, he struggled. Grisham, the same thing. And I get it. His defense.
You're the real MVP.
My schedule going forward, Yankees for the win, man, is I plan on being here every day. At some point when it's fully over, or maybe not every day, but every other day. It depends. I don't know, man. I haven't even thought that far, to be honest. I know last off season I was coming on like 3-4 times a week, usually every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then either Saturday or Sunday I will come on. So I might do that again. But it all depends, man. We'll see. We'll see. I haven't even thought that far, to be honest. Like, it sucks, man. A whole nother year gone, dude. A whole nother season. A long season. But what are you gonna do, man? This is unfortunately, you know, if you're like me, you love this team, you've been in love with this sport and this franchise for the majority of your life, right? I know I have for as long as I can remember, you know. And I don't know, this ain't the same team that I grew up freaking idolizing, you know. They were my heroes, these guys. And I don't get that vibe from these guys no more, man. And I get it a lot. Back then I was younger, but even when I met Joe Torre, I don't know why, I got the vibe of, okay, this, like, I felt like he was in charge. Like you got the feeling like he's the man, like he's the guy, he's in charge, right? I don't know. I never met Boone, so I can't. But I don't get that vibe from him, you know, from watching him on TV and everything. And I don't even think the players do. I think a lot of players like him because he just lets them do whatever they want to do. But besides that, man, it's like sometimes you don't need that. Sometimes you need somebody who's gonna get on your ass a little bit, you know. That's what you need. Li, man, what's up, man? Haven't seen you in a long time. Li says Yankees need a retool. I agree, man. We gotta. I don't know. We can't just keep doing the same thing. I know that, Li. Like, this is obviously not working. Whatever we're doing is obviously not working. We have to do something different, man. We do, and I don't think we can do that with Boone. I think we got to get rid of him, and we got to bring somebody else. And you're right. And even Cashman, and not that they're bad at anything, but just the job they're doing isn't getting it done. So we might need something different, man. And you know, Li, I know Li likes he likes the younger players, that kind of brand of baseball. And you know what? That's working. The athleticism. When you look at the Brewers, man, you're like, man, these guys are good, you know? And they got a bunch of guys that many of us never even heard of, but they're well put together, right? Aside of like William Contreras and a few other names that kind of blew up this year, they just got a whole bunch of young studs. And they got a manager who knows how to manage and develop young players because he came from the collegiate baseball. Pat Murphy was a collegiate coach, right? A collegiate manager. That's how he got his start. So he knows how to deal with these young kids. He knows how to develop them and how to help them grow and to become these players, you know? I don't know. And he knows what it is to grind that, you know. That's what I'm saying. The next manager of the Yankees after Boone should be somebody who's actually somebody who's worked his way through the ranks, I feel like, you know, so to speak. Not an ex-player turn broadcaster who you're just going to give him a managing job, who never coached. I don't care if they were a player. They never coached. It's two different things. That's why a lot of players can't be coaches. They're not good at it. And a lot of these coaches weren't good at being a player, you know. It's funny like that. But yeah, the Blue Jays too. You're right, man. Look at the Blue Jays, the Brewers. The Yankees can have that with Jasson Dominguez, Volpe, Spencer Jones, with the retooled offense that can go with power contact. But I asked you this, Li. By the way, when I say Li, it's Aiden, right? Well, you see the profile picture. But Li, do you think that Boone is the man to lead that, to take on that kind of retooling? That's what I ask you, man. Jacob says, you have to be pumped for our rotation next year. Man, Jacob, you're the most positive dude ever. I'm telling you. You are. I'm pumped right now, but I'm pretty sure it ain't gonna be what we think. No, Max. Garrett Cole is getting older. He's coming off Tommy John. I hope he's Garrett Cole of old, right? But you can't expect him to be the same guy, at least not right away.
Coming up in the minor league system too, that are really thought highly of throughout Major League Baseball, and maybe the Yankees could use that abundance of pitching that they have now, because there's a dearth of pitching in baseball, and they could trade some of those people to fill other spots, because there's a lot of free agents to be, which we'll get into a little later on this team coming this winter.
Yep, we'll be tracking that. We're going to take a quick break, but stick around. We're going to hear from the captain, Aaron Judge, a terrific.
All right, I'm gonna try to get to the things. I'm trying to get to all the chats, man. Yassine says the Yankees would never win the World Series with Boone and Cashman running the team. You know, I used to say that, and then I stopped saying that last year. I stopped because I felt like, man, we could have won that last year. And I know Boone didn't help, right? Obviously, but and I agree, man. I agree. I think that it's time to move on, man. But the frustrating thing, I hate even saying it because, come on, we know the likelihood of that happening is like crazy, man. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You know why? And I don't even think there's like, I'm not even sure what we can do that a warrant that actually be like, for them to be like, you know what, we got to fire this guy or these people. Because we missed the playoffs before in horrible fashion. Nobody was fired, right? We've gotten swept in the ALCS, embarrassed in the World Series, embarrassed in the ALDS now by the Blue Jays. Multiple times we've had teams freaking party and celebrate on our field in the last 10 years, right? On our field. And nothing, still nothing. We've gone 2 months. We're playing terrible baseball like this year. We went from up 9 in the division to down 8, literally in 1 month. We're talking about like a 15 game swing in the division in 1 month. And nothing happened, man. You know, just the fact, right? The fact that he brought in Nestor Cortez last year in Game 1 of the World Series instead of Tim Hill, that was a fireable offense right there. Joe Girardi got fired for less, and other managers have gotten fired for much less. Let's take a listen to Judge.
For another MVP season this year. He passed Joe D for 4th in Yankees history for home runs with number 362. 21st inning home runs, that's most in history. 4th season with 50 or more home runs.
I'd argue, right, even though the baby Bombers with Joe Girardi, we didn't actually make it to the World Series, but I'd argue that team was closer and a lot better than they should have been with Joe Girardi. Boone has had way better teams than Joe Girardi and haven't been able to do anything.
It's tough to describe. Yeah, we didn't do our job.
You're the real MVP.
Had a special group in here. A lot of special players that, made this year fun, but, we didn't get the ultimate prize, so, we came up short.
Cam had mentioned that a bunch of you guys.
Durant says Boone has to go get Jeter. Jeter is the answer.
Able to push through here against the Blue Jays and advance.
I think once again it comes down to the little things.
I appreciate you, Luis, man. Thank you.
Making the little plays, come with the big hit. If you don't do that, give teams extra outs, they're going to capitalize on it. What a season for the Blue Jays, doing their thing, winning the division, winning the DS. But, for us, we got to clean a couple things up, and we'll be right back here.
Another great season for you, but no championship. Does this get harder and harder as you go through this year after year, just falling short?
Yeah, that's what you play for. You play to win. And when you don't win, it's not a good year. So just got to put in more work, review the season, see what I can keep doing and try to help this team put them in the best position to win every single night.
Boone said that this team was going into the postseason. This was as good as anybody he's had. Do you feel like this was as good of a chance that you guys had to win this year?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we're a complete team with, up and down the lineup. Just a great offensive team. Guys that can put the ball in play, hit it out of the park. Just tough at bats 1 through 9, and starting rotation we had going into it. Those first 3 especially. It's a lethal combo we had up there. So I liked our chances. I liked our chances all year as a special group, and just sucks for the guys that this might be their last time wearing pinstripes. Not getting a chance to have a long run with them and in the championship. And especially to the fans all year that have been showing up, supporting us, even these postseason games. Even when we get down, they stay right in their seats, cheering us on. So it's just disappointed we let all those guys down.
There's a lot of free agents that are here, star players helped you, like Bellinger, Grish, Weaver. Are you hoping Cash tries to bring some of those guys back and take another run with these guys?
Yeah, we got a lot of winning players in here. A lot of guys that played the game the right way and helped make this team who it is. And you mentioned a couple right there with Grish and Bellinger, 2 guys that had incredible years.
2 guys who ain't did shit this whole postseason. Just keep it real.
Hopefully we can run them back and see what happens.
Maggie would said that.
Is there anything you feel like this team is missing to get over the hump?
It's tough to say right now. I gotta, once I review the season, kind of go through it, I might have a better answer for you. But tough couple weeks, tough couple months, good months. Just felt like we were just starting to get going here at the end, and have a nice little postseason run, but it didn't go our way.
Was it particularly difficult going up against the pitching staff that literally had a different pitcher almost every inning?
No, we've dealt with that before. We played the Rays for years where they had bullpen games with the lethal bullpen they've had for years. So it was nothing new. And
all right, man. I mean,
just couldn't have that big inning where we get a couple guys on and kind of.
We're not going to get nothing from Aaron Judge. Obviously,
I think
he's going to always give you that dude. He's so well media trained. I give it to him, man. He's never going to give you the real, what's really going on, how he really feels. So, that's enough of that, man. Katie says, Michael K is fantastic. I like Michael K. I'm not going to lie. Lately, though, I've been disagreeing. I haven't liked, I feel like I get a sense of arrogance from Michael K sometimes. But, I've grown up with Michael K, listening to Michael K. So, but he's part of the machine too. I will admit that he's part of that machine. The Yankees are a machine. Don't get it twisted. They're a freaking conglomerate, right? The media, everything. They are a machine. So he's part of that system, but. He's to me, he's the voice of the Yankees. I've been listening to him for a very long time, and he knows what he's talking about. I don't agree with everything, but he does know what he's talking about. I mean, he ain't the greatest. I get it. And lately, Michael K he's been real arrogant and just kind of like, I don't know. Look, I'm gonna speak frankly, man. He's been like a real bitch, man, especially to Yankee fans. Like, what's your problem with the Yankee fans? That's the thing that makes me sick with this organization. Even like with dudes like him and other people, like they're so annoyed by us. And it's like, bro, we're the ones who support this team through thick and thin. And we're annoyed by y'all. We're annoyed by you guys. Yeah, I don't think they treat the fans with disrespectfully sometimes, man. I don't know. They think we're dumb, and it is what it is. Look who's dumb, right? Who's dumb? The dumb ones are y'all. Y'all look dumb every freaking postseason. Y'all just look dumb right now. You just look dumb. You guys got embarrassed by the Blue Jays. Last year, you got embarrassed by the Dodgers. And watch the Blues after this series. Oh, they're going to talk so much shit. They're going to talk so much shit, and the Yankees just going to have to take it. They're just going to have to take it. Because they can't freaking back nine up. They can't defend themselves. They can't. Come out here and freaking win something, dude. They went to Toronto and literally got bitch slapped. That's what happened. They got TKO'd in the first round. I mean, pretty much like every game, dude. Every game we couldn't make it past the first, second inning without getting freaking like clobbered. Like, come on. When you think about it, this series, yesterday was a great game, right? But even yesterday was like, okay, we should have lost that game. They helped us out. We weren't even close. In hindsight, when you think about it, we weren't even close. They outplayed us so bad. We look like, literally, man, we look like a little league team playing against a professional team, you know? We had no chance versus these guys. None. Eli says, no, Boone is not he's not the guy to lead that charge, man. Not what you want, man. Jacob says, Custodio, keep on grinding. Your channel is very different, and others with your betting and stuff. Yeah, sir, I'm not going anywhere, but definitely in the off season, I'm not gonna. I don't know, man. Sometimes it's harder. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. Maybe I want to do more open panels in the off season, have more guests on, stuff like that. Maybe like I was thinking about. I want to have co-hosts, right? I want to have like every day, like maybe Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, bring on a co-host. It doesn't have to be a Yankee fan, too. Met fans, Blue Jay fans, freaking Cincinnati Red fan, whoever it is, you know. Bring on different fans and we talk about different things or just co-host in general, man. Try to switch it up to get somebody else's point of view and also to debate with people, right? Kind of like First Take or something like that. Jacob says, the whole thing why we're confident if they let Boone go, they won't go for another guy like Boone. I mean, it doesn't matter at that point, man. I take my chances, man. See, that's what they want you to think, man. That's the excuse, though, Jacob, man. And I get it, man. You guys, man, look, if you've been watching this team for long enough and listening to the excuse, I see right through the bullshit because that's the first thing they're gonna say. You know, especially like a guy like Michael Kay or anybody. Anybody who's defending or that's how they outsmart you. When you say Boone needs to be fired, you know what they say? Well, who are you gonna replace him with? They're just gonna get another Boone, and then with that, it's like you're supposed to. What they expect, most people just be like, "Oh, you're right. Oh my God, we just gonna be miserable forever." Right? But me, a person like me, will be like, I don't care who they replace him with. They could go get the fucking hot dog guy from the stands. We need something different because what we're doing ain't working. It's not working, people. Anybody. I don't care who they get. I'm sure they'll get somebody capable. If anything, right? When Boone got this job, right? When Boone, he wasn't even qualified for the job. Now he is because he's been a manager for 8 years and he still sucks, in my opinion. But he wasn't even qualified, right? So just imagine. I get it. He's a baseball guy. He played baseball, but there's a difference from coaching people, right? Or even teaching. There's people, right? There's people that are so smart. They're really freaking smart, but they can't teach somebody else, right? It's one thing. That's why some people are just great teachers and other people, you know, they have all that knowledge, all that talent or whatever it is, but they can't teach somebody, you know? I don't care how many years in baseball you got, you know, there's difference in managing and stuff and having certain kind of instincts. So I say all that to say this, man. He wasn't qualified to get the job, right? But he got the job. The learning curve was over. All these 8 years, you think, I'd rather get somebody like a Pat Murphy, right? And I keep bringing up his name because his story is crazy, right? He's been coaching for a very long time. He started in the college level and worked his way up, right? I need somebody like that who's been through the levels and coached when the bright lights weren't on and you weren't on TV and they were coaching kids, man, teaching baseball. Just none of this, not with no lights, no cameras, no special fancy batting gloves, none of that. Just kids out of high school playing baseball, right? at his purest form. That's what you need, a manager who knows baseball at its purest form. A guy like Aaron Boone grew up in the big leagues. You understand what I'm saying? And that's not a knock to him. And that doesn't mean he can't be a good coach. You know, but his whole life has been at the big. He's been in the big. I don't know. There's something to be said with somebody who's managed through all the levels, from high school, college, minor leagues, all the way to the big leagues, right? Or even an ex-player who's just been a manager for a very long time. There's experience there. The game is changing. It's getting younger. It's getting faster. A lot of these kids are moving through the minor leagues a lot faster. Not in the Yankees organization, with the exception of Camp Schlittler. The Yankees organization, they're going to bury you in the minors. When you look at it, like the Brewers organization, the A's organization, a lot of these guys, especially if you went to a 3-year college, right? A 4-year college. If you went to if you got drafted at a college and you did 3 years, like a D1 or whatever, D2, even JUCO guys, man, if they're that good, they're flying through the minors because they have experience, especially SEC. If you play for an SEC team, if you get drafted out of an SEC team, one of those big powerhouse schools, bro, let me tell you something, man. That level, right? The SEC and maybe the Pac-10 too. The Pac-10, the SEC, that is like minor league baseball there. They're just as good as a AA team, even some AAA teams, right? So a lot of them guys, like a Nick Kurtz, that's how I knew who Nick Kurtz was, because he played for Wake Forest. Like a guy like that who's just gonna breeze through they're gonna fly through the minor leagues because they're even though they're playing college ball, but it's better than a lot of pro ball, you know. And that's where I think a guy like Aaron Boone doesn't shine like that, man. Aaron Boone's I don't know, he's stuck in his way. He only knows one way, and that's not his fault. He knows his way, right? Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just talking out the side of my face at this point. Gee whiz, man, I'm covered in beer while celebrating. Let's go Blue Jays. Oh man, so you decided to join us and rub it in. That's good, man. Enjoy it. Enjoy it, man. But I wouldn't celebrate too hard, man. The time to celebrate is when you win the World Series. That's when you celebrate. All right, you know what? I'll do you the favor, though, bro. You don't even have to do that. I could just kick you out right now. And you could kick rocks. Fucking loser. Bro, you know what kills me, man? You know what? You know how much of a fucking loser you gotta be? That you're celebrating. He's celebrating, like he said, supposedly. That dude ain't celebrating. He's in his house probably jerking off by himself. And he's gonna say, let me go on this Yankee. Let me find Yankee chats just to rub it in their face. That's why y'all gonna lose, bro. Because God don't like ugly. I'm telling you. That's why you gotta, I tell people all the time, stay humble. Stay humble. Stay humble, right? Have some class, man. And you know why? It's not your fault. I get it, though. Because a lot of you guys never been there. Y'all never won anything, man. Y'all don't know what it is, so I don't blame him, you know? You gotta have some class, man. Win or lose, have some class. Act like you've been there before. That's what they say, right? Blue Jay Jonas says, Rodon is a package for Skeens. And a package for Skeens? Are you, oh, you guys playing? Yeah, man, that would never happen. I don't even think there's a package that could get Skeens. The Yankees don't have enough to get Paul Skeens. And you literally have to trade a good top 5. You got to have at least 5 of the top 100 prospects to get Paul Skeens. And then some big league players too. He's that good. There's no way you're gonna. I don't even think we have enough. Boone needs to go. I'm with you, but the trend in MLB are soft managers, just like Boone. That's all I'm saying. I think the trend is changing, man. Because the teams that are winning, the teams that are doing good now, and it's not even soft. Like, I don't need somebody going in there and freaking punching walls and stuff like that. I just need somebody to go in there and just take charge, man. Take charge. Look, and I say that, like, because there's plenty ways to lead, to be a leader, right? There's plenty ways. And I'm not saying that Boone is not effective. He's just not effective with this team, with these Yankees, with the Yankees, because he might go to a different ball club and be highly effective, because that might work somewhere else, but it's not working here. That's all I'm saying. It's not working here. It's just not working here because every year we get embarrassed, man. It's not working. It's like, he might go to another club. I wouldn't put it past him and do well somewhere else. I don't know, but it ain't working here. That's my whole point. Right? There's different ways to lead. There's different forms of leadership, and everybody ain't the same. Every person needs different kind of guidance, a different kind of, And while we at it, I fully expect Cody Bellinger to be opting out.
Didn't feel he was missing anything
tomorrow. But I will say this though, unlike Juan Soto, he is still wearing the Yankee hat. Unlike Juan Soto.
Yeah, absolutely. I had, an unbelievable time putting on this uniform. Yankee Stadium, the fans, the organization, the culture that these guys have created in this locker room. It really is special, and it's such a fun group. It was a fun group to be a part of, and came up short, and that part stings for sure, because we had a really, really good group here.
Cody, you have an opt-out to your contract.
Oh, they got asking about the opt-out right now.
Yeah, obviously things to discuss with family and the agent and the business side of it.
He
all.
said the agent. He's your agent.
Tonight,
just say him, Scott Boras, aka
just
Lucifer.
Soak it all in, and just be a part of the group one more time.
Cody, did you feel like after yesterday, the emotion from yesterday, that this team might have stopped?
Cody Bellinger, he let me down.
No, I didn't feel like that. It was a whole new day.
Well, they asked him, man. I think he's he knows what he's gonna do. There is no way, right? There is no way possible that he doesn't already know what he's gonna do. He said, I got to have a conversation with the agent, with the family. No freaking way. You know damn well what you're going to do. He's opting out, guys. He's opting out. He's opting out. He should. He earned it, man. He's been trying to get this contract, this long-term contract that he can sit back and get his FU money, right? And he's going to get it. He's going to get it, whether it's from the Yankees or somebody else. He's opting out. I get that vibe. I could see it in his eyes, guys. I would admit though, at least he kept the Yankee hat. Even Cole, when Cole freaking when he became a free agent after that year with the Astros, even he had the Scott Boras hat, right? And that's all by design. That's just to let the team know, like, hey, pay up. Juan Soto last year, immediately that hat went away, right? The Yankee hat. You didn't see the Yankee logo on him at all. So I would say this, man, is all by design. If he wore the Yankee hat, it's because he wants to be a Yankee, but he's gonna want to get paid. And I don't blame him. If I was in his shoes, I'm opting out. Me personally, I'm opting out, and I'm getting my bag, and whether it's with the Yankees or not. Silk Bucket says, bros watching videos about the Yankees when his team. Yeah. Dennis Ratana. Either way, Rodon got to go because he ain't here for the postseason. But Rodon is on a contract too, though, man. That's what I'm saying. And if you don't like Max Fried, if you're not happy with what he did, guess what, man? You better enjoy him for the next 7 years. So let me look up Carlos Rodon's contract real quick. He signed a 6-year deal, so he got like 3 more years. Yeah, we got him to 2028. So. Learn to love him. Learn to love him. Oh, let me put this over here so we can all see this. All right. Yeah, this is Rodon's contract. And we got another 7 years of Max Fried. You know what? But I'm not entirely mad at Max Fried because he had a good year with us. But we just needed him that game one. We did. But that's not to say, right? Ultimately, right, the pitching failed us, yes. But ultimately, it was the offense. It was the offense, because when you lose 10-1, I don't care how good Max Fried was, Luis Hill, that first game, he was going to pitch. When you only score one run, you're not going to win many baseball games like that, you know? The same thing today. It wasn't Cam Schlittler's fault. He was freaking great. You score 1 or 2 runs today, 1 run late when it really didn't matter anymore. But yeah, you gotta give him more help than that. And yeah, it's tough. This is tough, man. Let's see if I can put this here. Jazz is talking right now. Katie says, absolutely. Daniel Pena.
You the real MVP.
Would like Stephen Kwan to be a Yankee, to be a leadoff guy. I would too, man. That would have been. He's the guy we need. Jason, you don't think Jeter wouldn't make a dynasty? I don't. You know, because Jeter's too stubborn, and they're not gonna give me. It'll cause too much problems, man. You saw how much problems he had with the Marlins. Hold on. I think Jeter would do better as like a GM, or maybe some kind of role in the front office, something like that. But as a manager, no. As a manager, no, because he's not gonna be able to relate. He's gonna be looking at these guys like, what are you doing? Fucking get it done. Like, and they're gonna be like, we can't. And he's gonna be like, well, because he's, as a player, he's thinking, well, I always did. I got it done. Get it done. That's the same way Jordan wouldn't make a good manager or a good coach. Barry Bonds, when he tried to be a hitting coach, some people liked him. A lot of people didn't like him, you know, because he's seen it like, what do you mean? Just hit it out the park. Hit the ball, right? And it's like, it's not that easy for everybody else. It's easy for you, Jeter, because you're a freaking Mr. November, right? It's not easy for everybody else. So I don't think he would be a good manager. I don't want Jeter. I don't want Jorge Posada, because they never managed before. Like, we tried that. I want a guy who's managed, man. I want a guy like Joe Torre, maybe not that old, but somebody who's been around the block, who's been through different levels. You know, maybe even somebody we never heard of. Sometimes that's the best ones. The person that we never heard of, but people in the industry know, you know. It doesn't need to be a major league guy. That's the thing. I know a lot of players, they relate more to guys who've been in the big leagues for whatever reason, you know. But baseball is baseball, man. And you know, there's some great coaches down in the minors. There's some great managers in the college level, bro. Look, NYJ says LSU manager. There's some good people in college, or even the guy who manages Vanderbilt. I forgot his name. There's some great managers down there, dude. Some of these you know, these super schools, I forgot what they call them, these majors, right? Even mid-major schools, they got some good managers. Baseball's baseball wherever you go. It's just different levels of talent. But baseball's baseball. You still got to manage a bullpen. I'd say it's even harder at the lower levels. To manage lower levels is even harder, because you don't have the kind of resources. You're dealing with a bunch of kids that are raw, right? Out of right? Out of high school, most of them, or coming from a JUCO college, that just hit the transfer portal, and there's so many different variables, and these guys can't play all day. They got to go to school. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. That's why I like college baseball sometimes, man. I think it's more, I don't know, it's more pure sometimes. I feel like when I watch some of these college games, especially when they get like it's around the College World Series, I enjoy them, you know, for the most part. And a lot of those kids, I don't know any of their names. That's another thing too. I like it. It's just this baseball, right? I'm not looking for Aaron Judge or this guy or Shohei and all the names. Don't get me wrong. I love watching the big leagues primarily, but there's something about watching even little kids. When I watch my son play, just watching baseball at its purest form, right? It's a different kind of, it takes a different kind of, even me, like, I feel like I know baseball, but I can never coach. You know, even me trying to teach my son, we bump heads because I'm not a good coach. You know, So I don't know. Yeah, O'Neill would never manage. I doubt it too. He barely does the freaking games these days. O'Neill is good, man. He'll fly in maybe once a week to do a game, and it goes back to his house in Florida. You know. Don Mattingly. The thing with Don Mattingly is that and you know a lot of it too, especially with the ex players. With the ex players, a lot of it I want to say is Cashman, and a lot of these old. There's guys in the front office. There's guys in this Yankees organization, not guys and gals too. There's people in this Yankees organization that been there 40, 50 years, you know, like a long time they've been in this organization. And I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them are the problem too, because they're stuck in their ways. And there's certain relationships and stuff that they're just not gonna, you know, that's why if you talk to a lot of ex-Yankee players, they're not even wanted around the ball club. Why isn't Jeter there more often, right? Or A-Rod? Even Reggie Jackson, right? Why for a long time he was working with the Astros. Why is Don Mattingly with the Blue Jays? Why are all these people not around the team? Their team, the Yankees, it's because the Yankees don't want them around. You understand me? Especially a guy like Boone. Boone don't want these guys around. Boone can't take the criticism from these dudes. Mariano will be good, I think. Yeah, but Mariano got I don't think he would either. Look, I don't want an old player, man. I want a guy that nobody really knows, that don't care, to go in there and when he walks in the locker room and everybody's just chilling, they listen to 50 Cent. After a loss, he's gonna take that radio and smash it on the floor. A guy like Ron Washington, that's who we need. You know, a guy. I think that's what the Yankees. Let's try something like that, and maybe not too extreme, because Ron Washington, he's like very extreme with things, like very old school. But just somebody kind of, just something different, man. We need something different. Somebody who's just gonna be like, look, you know, you make a certain mistakes are not acceptable. You're coming off the field, type stuff. You know, that's who we need. Real Bill says, I'm working on Cal Raleigh's uncle about a new franchise in the Appalachian League. Yeah, man. The Appalachian League, man. That sound like some real hillbillies up there playing. Oh man, it's tough. Even Cal Riley. Cal Riley's dad is a collegiate manager, I believe, or coach. You know, there's a lot of good managers out there, man. They're people in the industry. I'm not in the industry, so I don't know a lot of names. But I'm sure there's people in the industry. They know. There's a lot of guys that we never heard. We always thinking the Jorge Posadas, the names that we know. But there's a ton of people. The same, even for general managers, right? Or presidents of the club. Like there's a lot of people in the industry who are highly qualified for these positions, right? Even more qualified than a guy like Boone or somebody else, you know, that can do the job. Mariano's a preacher now. He got caught in some kind of some child molestation scandal or something like that. Next year, the season division lead should be a priority. The rest would have helped Judge despite of whatever analysts say. Yeah, I think every year the division is a priority. Every year. This year, man, it's just, look, we went through 2 months of playing like the worst baseball you can imagine, right? At one point, we went 3 games straight without scoring a run, and then 2 games we went a whole week with like scoring 2 runs in a week, you know? So that's why I was saying, like, before the postseason started, I was like, look, we've seen this team. We've seen the Yankees freaking go on an absolute tear. I'm talking about hitting, well, what was it? They broke the record at one point, like 9 home runs in a game, and just absolutely going crazy when the torpedo bats were a thing. And we've seen them do that. And then at the same time, we've seen them not be able to get a hit at all, or put a runner through home, get a run across the board at all. We've seen that side of them too. We've seen them look really, really good, and we see them look like absolutely like terrible. And today, this series especially, instead of the good, we got the bad. This team has been Jekyll and Hyde the whole season. Jekyll and Hyde. And today, we got Jekyll, man. Right? Jekyll's the monster, right? Today we got the monster. We ain't get the good-looking doctor. We got the monster today. Of this series, I should say. Do you see Judge ever winning a ring? I do. I could see him winning a ring, but things gotta change. Things gotta change. And I feel bad for Judge because he's not gonna speak up on it. And that's partly his fault too. But time is ticking, man. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm 41 years old. Judge is what, 34, 32? Well, I don't know how. Like, it's coming fast, Judge. Look, I don't know if by any chance you happen to come across this, if I could give you one piece of advice, and I'm sure you know it, because everybody knows Father Time is undefeated, but you feel like you got more time than you really do. It's always like that. You feel like you got, even to this day, I feel like I got it in me, but I really don't. You feel like you have more in you and you have more time, but in reality, you don't. You don't. And the same thing goes for Cole. They got to win, man. I'm talking about we got our window to win with this guy when he's at his prime and lead. Unless you just win a championship with him when he's just a DH, who plays, 3 times a week or something like that. I would say the window is like the next 3 years. We got to win it. Within 3 years, we got to absolutely win. If not, it's going to be tough, man. He might get a ring. If we don't win it within the next 2-3 years, he might get a ring, but he's going to be very limited. At that point, it's going to be another guy. He's going to decline, or he's going to start declining. Hopefully not. Hopefully I'm wrong. But if history has taught us well, right, is that Father Time is undefeated. He doesn't lose. Look at the damn judges giving autographs to Cruz. Yeah, because Cruz might not even be here next year, right? I don't think he's on contract. Tough, man. Tough night for the Yankees, man. It's been a tough decade as a Yankee fan. A real tough decade, man. Luis Duran says, I know this is going to piss people off, but John for... I don't even know who that is, man. Elaborate. Real Bill P says, Judge needs to win soon. Seriously. He has an hourglass counter time. Yeah, man, but unfortunately, man, it's just he did his part. All right, we could put that to rest at this point. He did his part. His team's gonna show up. Yeah, do better, man. He needs to play the right players around him too. And YYJ says, back when I was coaching travel ball, we would work on hitting behind runners. If the boys couldn't do it, they ran pose. Yankees suck at situational batting. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Volpe's, Volpe's he's so disappointing. I don't know what's gonna happen with him, but I'm sure coming into spring training, he will be the starting shortstop. And look, this is 3 years. This is his 3rd year, and it wasn't good, right? 3 years of this, right? The same kind of stats, same kind of numbers for 3 years. I think this is who he is, guys, man. Like, we need to really, if an opportunity comes to get a legit shortstop in the offseason, I think you go for it, man. You absolutely go for it. I get it. Everybody wants George Lombard Jr. Look, that dude is a ways away. He can't even conquer AA right now, all right? And that's not to say next year he might go on this tear and whatever, but you can't count on that. You can't count. If you can land a legit shortstop, you get him. And then when George Lombard Jr., you figure it out when he makes it up here. But that's on him. He's got to make it up here. And as fans, we can't always assume that these guys are gonna make it up here, or they're gonna be good when they get here. Because let's be honest, the majority of prospects don't pan out, right? don't pan out. I would say not that they don't pan out to our expectations, right? They don't pan out to our expectations. And even to what the Yankees say they expect from a prospect is not really what they expect. They're always gonna talk up their prospects. That's what they always do. They always talk up their prospects, and that's their job, right? Because prospects at the end of the day, they're like bargaining chips. They're like bargaining chips. It's like a game of poker with prospects, right? And players. That's what the general managers, when they talking to each other, that's all it is. If I got a prospect, I may know, right? Like, let's say, for instance, I'm gonna use Jasson Dominguez as an example. So don't kill me for this. Like Jasson Dominguez, right? All we've been hearing is he's a 5-tool player, does everything legit, and he's Mickey Mantle from both sides of the plate. Right? That's what we've been hearing. Of course but they didn't tell you like, yeah, but you know, he is a little sketchy, man, in the outfield. Right? You never heard that part. And they don't tell you that. Nobody's perfect. There are some players that are just really, really good, but they talk up all the players. I've been hearing it for years, man. All these guys. And then when they get here, you're like, what? This was the guy that was untradeable, supposedly. Right? Like Parada, there's just so many. Esteban Florial, there's so many, man. And they never really, really pan out. And it's all good though. That's the name of the game. It really is. That's the name of the game. So I say that to say this, man. Like you can't. I get it, George Lombard Jr. I do believe he can be good, right? But we will never know until he gets here, because he might make it up here, and then we're like, oh, okay, that's why he struggled getting out of AA. Oh, okay, that's why nobody really wanted to trade or whatever it is, right? Who knows? And I'm not saying that's going to be the case, but prospects are suspects until they become something. You just never know. I think Volpe did enough in the postseason to redeem himself next year, but if he don't, then he got to go. I think you bugging, man. He hit 1 home run. In the wild card, yeah, he did good in the wild card. But if you look at his stats, this series, he went 0 for 13 with 11 strikeouts. That's unheard of. 0 for 13 with 11 strikeouts. These are his numbers in October this year. He had a good wild card, but then he threw it all away. He threw it all away with this series. I'm gonna pull up his numbers for October 2025. These are his numbers this postseason. So when you say you think he did enough this postseason, this is what he did this postseason. Dennis, I hope you're still here so you can see it. That's what he did. You think that warrants another chance? I don't think so, man. That warrants a trip to get the hell out of here. You know, that warrants a not even a flight. A freaking, you getting a Greyhound ticket back down to Scranton, bro. There's no Scranton you could just drive to, but yeah, I don't think. Real Bill says, I agree, Dusty would be great, but he's old. Yeah, Dusty's not, man. He said it. He don't want to manage no more. Bruce Bochy. Bruce Bochy is going to go. Wasn't he supposed to be taking a job with San Francisco or something like that? I don't know. Don Mattingly will work. Jason was a good year for Judgy, though. Oh, it was better than a good year, man. It was Judge had a great. He's MVP. Judge is the MVP.
Analyze what they're going to do, but one big question mark they have going into 2026 is what are they going to do at shortstop? Have they lost faith in Anthony Volpe?
Just talking about
you could show me different metrics. We watched him play every single day. He did not have the year that he had in his first or second year. It was a disappointment. He had 19 errors in the way.
His first and second year were bad too.
It's going to make the Yankees think. Do they go into spring training with Anthony Volpe as a shortstop? Or is there going to be a battle between Volpe and Caballero?
No.
Bottom line is that's something that's going to be at the forefront on how they put this team together.
That's something we will keep an eye on in the offseason. As always, with our Yankees Hot Stove shows, it's always tough when it ends like this from the three of us.
I know they look disappointed, man. Look at them. They look disappointed. They're like, damn, this team blows, man. They really do. They really do. It's all over, guys. It's a wrap. It's all over, bro. That's all she wrote. Freaking suck, man. Pisses me off. What can you do? I'm not gonna lie, man. I haven't even drank in a long time, and I'm drinking right now because this team.
You the real MVP.
Frustrating, man. Luis Ran says, "You think the Mets are gonna bounce back in 2026?" I think they will. I think they know where they messed up and they're gonna fix it. But I was upset. I'm not gonna lie, Duran. And I'm not even a Mets fan. I felt like Mendy should have got fired. I feel like, and I'll say this why, right? Because if you're gonna fire the whole coaching staff who works under him, literally he's their boss. You're gonna fire the whole coaching staff and not fire him, and for him to even stay there, me out of respect, right, out of loyalty, if you're gonna fire my whole coaching staff, I'm resigning. That's what Buck Showalter did in 1995 with the Yankees. They wanted to fire all these people. He said, "No, you're not gonna fire my guys, and if you do, I'm resigning." Or not like I don't want to be on it too. That's what he should have done. So I lost a lot of respect for Mendy too, because it's like, oh, all of a sudden, right? Because these are supposed to be your guys. That's how a manager and the coaching staff, they're supposed to be in lockstep. Those are his guys. So he's supposed to be like this, right? So for him to just, well, I don't know, man. And get a whole new staff. And I think players see that too. Players look and they're going to be like, damn, y'all fired all these people and you still here? What about you? Those are all your guys. I'm pretty sure everybody they brung in, he had a say in that. I'm pretty sure, right? As far as that coaching staff goes. So, yeah, but they fired everybody, man. So, I don't know. I think they could. Let me see what the Phillies are doing right now. The Phillies about to get swept too. Oh, no, they won. All right, so they survive. Detroit and Seattle going to Game 5. So they setting up the Blue Jays lovely, because that means that Tarek Scuba is going to have to pitch Game 5. And so yeah. So even if they win, the Blue Jays won't have to worry about him for a couple games. So nah, don't be sorry, man. Freaking it is what I'm used to this, man. This is a every year thing, man. We go down in flames. It's sad, man. I'm watching Yes, No, I see all the fans. It's just, and then for them to win it in our home too is like, come on, man. Come on. At least with the 90s team, right? With the old dynasty, when we used to lose, especially in the 90s, right? When we lost in 95, we lost in 97. When we lost, right? It was never in our own park, right? It was always on the road. And this team just fucking blows, man. They got to change something. Mr. Snow says, I feel bad for... Yeah, you don't have to apologize, but don't feel bad for me, man. I feel bad for them. At the end of the day, look, man, I know they don't care. They rich, It is what it is, man. Look, I love my team. I don't love these guys. They don't represent this team the way they should. And it's not only, it's a lot of this organization just is rotten to the core, man. I've been saying it for years. This organization is rotten to the core. They don't even care about their fans. It's a like Ace says, it's all about the dollar. As long as they freaking profitable and they get better every year. That's the crazy thing. The more they lose, the more they make money. It's fucking insane, right? They make even more money. Oh shit, somebody, hold on. Oh, Donnie's in here, man. Hold on, let me bring Donnie in. My bad, Donnie. You're the real MVP. I'm all over the place, Donnie. Oh, let me bring you in. Okay, we got Donnie in the building. What's up, Donnie?
How's it going, gentlemen? How's it going, everybody? How's it going, chat?
Can y'all hear Donnie? Let me know if you can hear Donnie in there. I'm using OBS right now, and it's a lot different. But let me get to the super chat real quick. Luis Duran says Boone and Judge are a failed postseason duo. So, well, not really. I mean, Judge did everything he had to do. I think this year, and Donnie, you could elaborate. I think this year in the postseason, I don't really necessarily think it was Boone either. I think it was just the players. Look, nobody showed up, man. Trent Grisham was awful. Volpe was awful. Stanton, he wasn't Stanton from last year. Cody Bellinger wasn't good either. Like, he wasn't really good. Ben Rice, for some reason, I don't know what happened to him. It's like we didn't get the performance that we got all season from these guys. What say you, Donnie?
Do you think it really comes down to Boone, though, Jay?
I don't think Boone is not. He's not the
corporate.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna say it. How do I say this? Right? It's not only Boone, but the reason why I say Boone is just because, and because you was in the Air Force, dude. Like, sometimes, man, it's like when you're in charge, man. At the end of the day, the failure of the squad or the platoon that falls on you. And it's been 8 years. I just think it's time for new leadership. I think that we just need a different voice, a different way of doing. Even if, like, some people say they're gonna just hire another Boone. Okay, well, let's hire another Boone and see if maybe that could do something. We have to change something. We can't just run it back every year and have the same result.
But Jay, do you think that Boone is just Catherine the house puppet, though?
I bet he is. It's all right, but at the end of the day, I say this, right, Donnie? At the end of the day, even if Cashman says this is what you're gonna do, Boone is the one that got to walk out onto that field and pull the guy out the bullpen, right? You don't have to do it. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to do it, right? Even though they might be upset after the game when they have their meetings, but he doesn't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing, like when you, because I talk like this to you because you're a military guy, right? You might get orders, right? Your commander tells you, hey, Donnie, you do this, right? And you go to your guys, you're like, you know what? I mean, most of the times you're going to do it. But if it's saying, like, yo, we're not doing that, man. That's dumb. All right? You put that on you. You better be right, though. But you don't have to do it.
Do you think Judge is taking them orders, though, Jason? You think Judge is going to tell Boone, like, I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do it?
Or Judge could do whatever he wants. No, I'm talking about Boone in particular. It's not Judge. This is not on Judge. Judge did everything he can do. He did everything he can do. Like, what more do you want to do? What more can he do? He got all the hits that he can get. It's not his fault that nobody's on base. Right. Trent Grisham was very bad this whole playoffs. He was very bad, and the whole playoffs he batted in front of Judge. So that means the whole time there was nobody on base for Judge, and they didn't decide. And that's a Boone thing right there, or Cashman, or whoever does the lineup. Somebody has to say, you know what? Let's try something different.
But we're talking about military stuff, Jay, right? So Judge being the captain, everybody should fall in line, right? Everybody should be saluting Judge and taking orders, right?
No, but that's the thing. The Judge is the captain, but he don't give orders. But I tell you this much, right? Let me tell you something, man. If Judge says something, 9 out of 10 times it's gonna happen.
No, I'm talking about military personnel. Like, if somebody's a captain in the military, right? Like,
yeah, but that's different though. All right. So in the military, a captain is the commander, most likely, right? We talking about and this is different. He's just a captain, meaning he's the leader of the clubhouse. He's the captain of the team, But let me get to the super chat real quick, and then we'll finish that. Joel Hernandez, what's up, man? Says Jasson Dominguez should leave the Yankees after the disrespect. I tell you what, if he did, I hope he does it because I like Dominguez, and I think he's gonna get better. And we saw today, look, he could be a difference maker if you let him play. The defense wasn't there this year, but you know what? And before we get back to the whole captain thing, right? I will say this, and Clint Frazier mentioned this on his podcast. It was like, sometimes, man, the guys in the minor leagues that are trying to come up, they'd rather be traded sometimes, because there's no opportunity really for these guys in the Yankees. But if you trade them to, for instance, a guy like Clayton Beater, right? He gets traded, or Traparo, right? Remember him? They get traded to the Nationals, and all of a sudden they're playing every day over there,
Oh, for Rosario, right? The trade.
Yeah, and they're playing every day. If they were on the Yankees, they'd be in AAA. You understand what I'm saying? So being a prospect in the Yankees isn't always good unless your name is Anthony Volpe.
I don't agree with that though, Jay.
You know, why not?
No. Volpe, man. I mean, Volpe, he's Boone's boy, obviously, right? He's Cashman's boy. Cashman always came out saying that is his boy, but I don't know, Jay. I mean, Lombard Jr.'s coming strong. Volpe's gonna watch his back because I don't know, Jay. I think Lombard can come up strong.
No, I hear you, but that's what I'm saying though. That if you're a prospect in the Yankees, you're gonna be miserable. You're not gonna have a lot of chances unless you're Anthony Volpe. Volpe got every chance, and I think, look, Lombard Jr. My thing though, Donnie, I get it, right? Even the same thing with Spencer Jones. We hope they're gonna be great, right? They're probably the top 2 prospects in our system, right? But at the same time, we'll never know until they get here. You know who else is a top prospect? Esteban Florial, right? You know who else is a top prospect? Clint Frazier. Even though he played a lot of these guys. You see what I'm saying? They never panned out.
I talked to Clay. I talked to Clint. Sorry, not Clay, but I talked to Clint like last week or something like that. We chatted and stuff like that, and it's true though, Jay. I mean, you're talking about the same stuff. Like the Yankees don't value the prospects that they should. Like they hold them prospect hug, Peraza, Andahar. You know what I mean? So on.
I feel like they do it. They hold the ones they shouldn't hold, and then a lot of the guys they get traded away. I don't know, and maybe that's a scouting thing, or maybe it's just the way it works out. But I think that something's got to change because a lot of these guys, especially these young guys, when they go to another organization, they pan out, man. They end up becoming really good, or maybe not really good, but they end up becoming good. You know, and I'll say like even when you look at Boston, Donnie, right? Obviously, Narvaez, the catcher, right? Look, I'm not gonna say he's the greatest, right? But he's a solid major league catcher. You know, those are hard to come by. Arguably better than Wells. You know, I'd say he's up there with Wells, man. I like him better than Wells. I think I haven't seen enough of him. And then you got a guy like Craig Weissert, right? Remember him? Even though we traded him for the Verdugo trade. But he had a great season with them. Whatever they figured out with them, he's doing better. Even
what
like
about Whitlock? What about Whitlock? We had Whitlock.
Yeah, Whitlock, you know, that's what I'm saying. They're a lot better, right? Even Aroldis Chapman, right? You know, and it's not always the case, but a lot of guys they end up becoming better when they go. But Anthony Volpe was just
do you think Cashman undervalues, like not like overvalues these guys? Like, do you think he overvalues them?
I think he does sometimes. Hey Ace, you got to put Anthony Volpe October 2025 because this is gonna give you his last 7 games of the regular season, I think. But if I put Anthony, yeah. What about you? You think he overvalues them?
I think he does. Well, look at the trade though. What was it? 2000? I want to say 2016, 2017 when they wanted Cole, right? And from when Cole was on the Pirates or whatever, Pirates wanted Andahar, right? What happened? Cashman didn't want to give Andahar.
Yeah, he didn't want to give it. We could have traded Volpe or Peraza for Luis Castillo, and they were like, nope, not happening.
Or Torres, remember? When they wanted Torres for Pablo Lopez.
Yeah, but I think I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. This postseason, I'll be honest with you, man. I miss Torres. I really do, and especially leading off in the postseason, he was great. Gleyber Torres in the postseason, I get it. During the season, he did a lot of things that pissed a lot of us off. But you can't deny it.
What do you think about his beard now in Detroit? His beard's like,
oh yeah,
down to here, right?
I mean, I think that when he was here, you know, sucks, man. I think when he was here, he was good in the postseason. If we had him this year, and I'm not saying it because then it would have blocked Jazz. We wouldn't have Jazz, so it's tough. But that leader, we need a bat like that at leadoff, right? A guy who's just gonna do something. Grisham didn't do anything at leadoff.
Right.
Nothing. He is not a leadoff hitter. I don't know why. I get it was working during the season, but it makes no sense. It wasn't working.
Did you hear about the trade deadline rumors? Did you hear about that? About Nets were trying to offer Beatty for Grissom?
Yeah, I heard that. I would have done it.
I would too.
At the time, I would have done it, you know. I would have done it. I was saying that too because the Mets needed a center fielder bad who can hit.
And Beatty's got control, right? He's got what, 2-3 years of control?
I think he got some years of control, and not only that, Beatty's he's decent with the glove. And at the time, we were running out Jorge Vivas and Peraza. So anything would have been
I know
okay
Grisham had a good year, Jay. We all know that. We all know that Grisham had a good year. He had a career year, but I mean, like, if you can get Beatty with that 3-4 years control, I mean.
Yeah, no, but at that time we're talking about trade deadline, right? At the time, we knew he was having a good year, but we didn't know that it was gonna keep going like that.
Right.
We were thinking at some point he's gonna come back to earth, right?
Unfortunately,
he did. He did in the postseason. He came back to earth, man.
Yeah.
He came back to earth, and this is why he was never really a huge contributor in the Padres or the Brewers, even though he was a top prospect with the Brewers, or even last year with the 2024 Yankees, you know.
So who's gone after this year? I can name some names. I'll let you name off some names. Who you think's not coming back?
Who I think is not coming back because we're not bringing him back, or
right? All right, in general, yeah, in general.
It's tough, man. I gotta think. I don't think Luke Weaver's coming back. He had a bad ending with us. Where we couldn't even pitch him.
Williams not come back.
Devin Williams, I think I was on that camp. I didn't think he was coming back. I don't think he's coming back because I don't think he wants to be here. But I think for the right price, because we saw what he did towards the end of this postseason, towards the end of the season, he looked all right. So I could see the Yankees because his value, he is not whatever he was worth before coming to the Yankees. He's not worth that anymore. He might get a 1-2 year deal. You know. That's very doable. I think that's a deal that I could see the Yankees trying to go after, but I don't think he wants to be here.
I don't think Grisham's come back, and I don't think Belly's come back unless Belly takes a good deal.
I think, Belly, he's going to opt out, I think, and he's going to want a lot of money, and maybe the Yankees don't give it to him. I think the Yankees are going to try to get him, though. I think if it doesn't work out, it's because
Spencer Jones coming.
No, I think it's because other teams are just going to be outbidding, and the Yankees are not going to partake with that. And we're not, even though we got to deal with Scott Boras, but I think the way that the whatchamacallit, the Soto thing went, I don't think that Hal is very happy with the way it went. Even though it ended up, we dodged a bullet on that one, and I don't think they want to spend that much money too going into this new collective bargaining agreement. After next year, they gotta agree on a CBA, on a collective bargaining agreement. You know, that's why there's going to be a lockout, most likely.
Could you imagine a salary cap coming, though? That's what I'm trying to say. Can you imagine that?
I think that's what Hal wants, right? I think Hal's in the camp. That's what they want. That's why I don't think he's going to... I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I don't think he's going to want to spend like crazy either, you know? So I don't think the Mets are going to spend like crazy either because that didn't work out for them. So we'll see.
I just like Soto when he said that, Jason, about the Mets have a better future than the Yankees. What did the Mets do this year? Did they make the playoffs? No. What? And he was underestimating Aaron Judge in the postseason. What Judge did? Now Judge is doubters. You can't say none of these doubters. I mean, Jason, we talked about this last night. I mean, I'm not saying you in general. I'm just saying everybody in general, not you, but other ones that comment on it. Judge performed, right?
Yeah. I mean, he undoubtedly. He did his job, man. He overperformed. Like, you can't say nothing, man. What are you gonna do when nobody's on base and everything? Just think, right? If Grisham could just get on base a little bit more, because he's batting in front of Judge almost every game. Judge is getting these hits, he's getting these doubles. Those are runs that are scoring there, you know.
Even tonight, right?
You know,
he had that, right?
Yeah. At the, he had 2 hits tonight. He had an RBI double at the end. So, but it's unfortunate, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm a little sad, and I'm more sad just in the sense that man, you go through a whole season and to go out like this, and it sucks because it's like, man, we're gonna run this back again, you know? Like, well, Are we gonna make some changes, some legit changes, and not only players, because we change players every year. Like this time, let's change the way we do things, the philosophy, I don't know.
MVP.
And they told us they were, right? Remember, they were like, we're gonna start bunting and all this other stuff, and none of that happened, man. They didn't do any of that. They started doing it, trying to do it towards the end of this season. They started trying to do it. It was too late. Luis says, thank you, or appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I don't know, Jay. I think that the priorities right now is Catherine and Hal are saved for Boone's job, I guess, because Boone's their puppet.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but at some point, I don't know. We'll see. The thing is that they don't care, man. They'll turn the blind eye. Like, we could go to the stadium and boo and talk till we, blue in the face on these podcasts and everything, and they'll say that we don't know what we're talking about, Donnie. They'll say that the Yankee fans are stupid. They don't know what they're talking about. And it's like, okay, how stupid are we? When was the last time you won, right? Okay, so we can't be that dumb, right? Obviously, as fans, we a lot of times we're ahead of the team on this. Even this whole Anthony Volpe that we've been saying, like, this guy's not it, man. He's not performing. We got to do something. You got to get Caballero in there. And at the end, you see they start trying to do it, right? But even then, it was too late.
Late.
It was just too late. And then they just went back. He had one good series, or one good game, and they were like, oh, yeah, he's back, I don't know. And even like with Will Warren, right? I knew that Will Warren wasn't going to be on the playoff starting rotation. So I was like, why don't let's start bringing him out the bullpen. You don't want his first time to coming out the bullpen to be in freaking game 2. Was it game 2, right? Game 2 of the ALDS.
After Hill, right?
Yeah. No, he came after Freed. Yeah, it was after Freed. Like that's when we're gonna do it. That's when we're gonna start trying it out. Why not start it during the season? We had Ryan Yarbrough. Ryan Yarbrough could have filled in for that slot. That's spot.
Why I said last night, you're like, yeah, Yarbrough's not on it. And I said, Jason, Yarbrough should have.
Yeah, but they didn't. He wasn't on the roster.
No.
That's what I'm saying. But they carried a third. They carried Dominguez all the way through, and he didn't play at all. This is the same thing they did last year. Then why not? And I know you can only carry so many pitchers, but I don't know, man. Just the way they did things. If you knew that Will Warren wasn't going to be in the rotation, you
I would honestly carry Yarbrough Warren, right? Would you have?
I think so, yeah. But I think Warren earned the spot there because he pitched like he had like 31 starts. But even then, you should have during the season had him coming out the bullpen towards the end, like that last week, just so he can get a feel of what that's like. They didn't do that. But let me get this Luis Duran's comment. He says Vladdy taking some karma's coming, just you wait. Oh, Vladdy talking karma's coming, just you wait. Oh, I bet he is.
A lot of this. Vladdy's doing a lot of this right now.
I bet. Guess what, man? If he won, now's the time to do it, though, right? You talk it after. They were the same way the Dodgers did it after. Like, what are we gonna do, right? And that's what I'm saying. I don't know how the Yankees put up with this, man. Like, everybody talks down on them, and like even the freaking announcer from the broadcast guy, Buck Martinez. Yeah.
Martinez, yep.
Like, I don't know. The Yankees, they need to tighten up.
Will we ever hear Jeter or even Aaron Judge even talking about trash like this? I wouldn't ever hear him take trash, right?
Jeter has too much class. Jeter's the type of guy, he's just gonna win, right? That's the best way to do it is to just win. But we're not winning, man. That's the problem. That's how you shut everybody up, by winning. Winning cures everything, right? It cures everything.
I just don't like the trash talk afterwards. I mean, it's bragging wise. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they won. Unfortunately, they won. What are we gonna say, right? Because they could say, "Oh yeah, they weren't good." What are we gonna say? "Oh, we're better than you. We just lost." There's nothing you can say. You have to eat it and take it, and then next year try to come back and play better. And I'll tell you what, though, that's one thing I give to Judge. He went through a whole season after last year's World Series of hearing, and even though I'm sure he tries to block it out, but there's no way you could block out the whole world. I'm sure he hears it everywhere he goes and everything, and he showed. That's why when he looked at that camera, when he went to that camera and pointed to it and everything,
wide to the left,
that right there,
and just missed the foul pole. This time,
when he did that, man, that was him saying, you know, I told you so, right?
Jason, I hope I was hoping Judge would do like the Roman Reigns thing for when he went to the camera, like put the ones like that, awesome, like that kind of thing. After he did that,
yeah, man, that was an epic moment. And you know, I was saying yesterday, Donnie, that's an epic moment for him. But unfortunately, man, if we don't win, it will be forgotten. Not by us, because we're diehard fans, right? But for the rest of the world, they don't care. And they're still going to say, you know, and that's going to be the argument, right? When they be like, well, let's say Kyle Riley, you know, makes it, let's say the Mariners make it to the ALCS, right? Or even the World Series, or win it, maybe. That's going to say, well, they won. You know, it's going to be like, oh, so he's better than Judge now because his team made it to the ALCS and we didn't. That's all people care about, man. You got to win, you know, Donnie. That's why I feel like you have to win or you get forgotten. You get forgotten if you don't win. And that's the way, that's how you silence all the critics, Donnie. That's how you shut everybody up. And unfortunately, Judge doesn't have the right people around him to get it done. You can't do it on your own. He came through in the big spot. The man literally batted over 500. He was the entire offense. He had more hits than the whole team.
Where was G though? Where was G though? I didn't think G was gonna. G started hitting a little bit, but I mean, where was he?
I'll tell you where he was at, man. Like I said, eventually, Donnie, and this is the sad thing. Father Time is undefeated, man. He will get you. Some people he comes earlier than others. I really think that he's just not. Father Time got to him, man. You know, it's just eventually, and hopefully not, man. I knock on wood. But as someday we're gonna be looking at Judge and be like, damn, man, what happened? You know, he's declining. You know, hopefully we're a long way from that, right? But eventually he's gonna come and we're gonna be like, man, this dude was the shit. You know, that's what we're gonna say. He was freaking.
The greatest right hitter of all time, right?
Yeah, he was when he was on. The same thing with, like, remember, I don't know if you watch like Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera was that guy, dude. Miguel Cabrera was one of the best hitters I've ever seen, especially from the right side of the plate.
First baseman too at that.
And eventually though, but you seen him at the end, towards the end of his career, it was like, man, it was tough to watch for me because I'm like, man, this was the guy that he killed us. Remember, he was on the Marlins and we lost that World Series. I was like, this guy single-handedly beat us at 21 years old. He was one of the best hitters I've ever seen. And look at him at 38 and he's struggling. He can't catch up to a 97-mile-per-hour fastball. You know, eventually Judge is gonna get there, man. That's why we got to get him a ring. Like Hal Steinbrenner, Cashman, Boone, whatever. I don't know. And Boone, I feel like he's, I don't know. I feel like I want blood. That's just me. And I'm not saying it's his fault, but one thing has always been the same all 8 years. The last 8 years has been, we had Boone, we had Judge. Obviously, we're not firing Judge. Judge is doing his thing. So let's just get somebody new, man. Let's try to get this dude a ring. Let's get somebody who knows how to win, who's won before maybe at some level or something. Let's get somebody in there and let's put the right players around him.
So bring Torrey back then.
He's too old.
Back, right? No,
he's too old.
Yeah.
You remember, like, Lou Piniella? Lou Piniella tried to coach till he was old, and Lou Piniella was almost senile when he ended well with the White Sox, I think. And he was almost like, even his own players was looking at him like, what the hell are you doing?
Do you ever see A-Rod or Jeter become a manager of the Yankees?
No. A-Rod already said it on the show they do. He said he would never manage. And Jeter, I don't think Jeter would be a good manager. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. Donnie Baseball's right now in the field for Toronto, right?
I think he can do it. I don't think Jeter can be a manager. I don't think so. That's who you want. Who do you want?
For a coach? For manager?
Yep.
Believe it or not, I think Bernie could make a good manager.
Yeah, but I don't think Bernie wants to do it either. I want somebody who's managed before, me personally. I'd even take Joe Girardi back, if I'm being honest.
You think Joe will come back though?
Yeah. I think he wants to. I think he's dying to come back. He's waiting, bro. He got his resume ready. As soon as they fire Boone, man, he's literally with the Yes Network. He just walks a few doors down to Cashman's office and drops his resume in there.
Well, Todd Frazier, isn't Todd part of the Yes Network?
Yeah, but I don't think he wants to do it either. And I don't want a guy who's never done it before. You know, I want somebody who's done it. At least with Joe Girardi, I feel like he'll be better because he's done it. He's failed at it. He's succeeded at it. He's been fired twice. He's been on good teams, been on bad teams.
What about Posada? Everybody was talking about Posada.
Nah, he's never managed before.
No, about trying to manage.
I don't think so. Let him try with the Rockies or a team like that and work his way up to us. You got to make sure that these guys could do it, man. We don't know. I get it. He was a catcher. That doesn't mean he could be a manager, you know? I want somebody who's done it before, who has a track record. And
Brad Osmus. He's right there.
Yeah, he's right there. But I think if you get rid of Boone, unless it's mid-season, but if it's like off-season, you get rid of everybody. You bring in a new manager and you let him decide who he wants around him. You know, that's how you're supposed to do it.
I don't think Boone's gonna be gone next year, Jay. I don't think.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying that.
I know. Right.
They should. They should shake it up. They should prove everybody wrong and do it anyway, right? Just to let everybody know, the players, everybody, like, hey, guess
Put them
what?
on notice. Put them on notice.
Hey. For them to do that would be sending a sign saying, hey, enough is enough. We're back. The Yankees, we're going back to being the Yankees. We don't want anything that even resembles the last decade of losing miserably, right? Because for the last decade, and you know, Boone, I get it. He's like one of the winningest managers ever of all time as a Yankee, but he's also the longest tenured Yankee manager without a World Series ring. No other manager has been a manager that long for the Yankees without winning.
Was it 8 years?
8 years, going on 9 now, you know? My goodness, 9 years, Donnie. It's been 9 years with this guy. And he can't get it done.
Girardi started in what, 03? 04,
No.
03?
He started in what was it?
He went 09, but I just trying to say.
It was 07. Didn't they fire Joe Torre? Hold on. It was later than that.
So Torre got fired in 04, maybe? I think Girardi started in 05, maybe
No.
06?
I don't know, man. And another thing too is that Girardi had a great teacher, right? He had Joe Torre. So no, Joe Torre. He was the Yankee. He was the manager to 2007.
Oh,
so,
7.
Yeah.
Okay. So Girardi came 2000 after, so 2008, and he went in 2009.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he was still a young manager, but he had a great team around him, and he had a lot of the old guys, man, the Jeters, the guys who knew how to win.
Well, Sabathia, Burnett, signing all them guys. I remember I was in basic training in 2009, and I didn't get to watch the World Series. Everybody's like jumping up and down, like, yeah, if he'll lose the Yankees World Series. I was in basic training, and I couldn't watch it until after I graduated. I'm like, then I had to buy the DVD and watch it and everything.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be tough, man. We'll see, man. We'll see what the Yankees do, but they got to make some kind of change. You can't just come back and say you can't expect to win if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over. You really can't, man. But yeah, man, it's tough. But Donnie, I appreciate you joining, man. I'm about to sign off. I got to work tomorrow, man. Yeah, in the off season, we're gonna do a lot more of these things, man. A lot more open panels, and also just I don't know, just kind of debates, man, and we'll see what the Yankees do, what kind of moves they make. We'll talk about what they should do and what they shouldn't do, and I'm sure everybody has an opinion. Everybody's gonna some right, some wrong, I know one thing's for sure, man. We can't keep doing the same thing every year. Come on, guys. Let's do something different, man. Let's change it up.
Thank you, Jay, for having me on, buddy. And let's go Yankees. We're gonna be there every year, right?
Yeah, man, definitely. But I appreciate you, Donnie, man. Yeah, man. Take care, dude. Have a good one.
Have a good night, gentlemen.
I'm gonna drop you down real quick. All right, he's done. Yeah, man. Again, unfortunately, the Yankees lose, man. Season's over. Season's over. That doesn't mean the show is over. I'm gonna still be here. Probably not every day like I was doing, but I will be on a lot. And also because I'm still a baseball fan. I'm still gonna be watching, the Blue Jays face off against the Mariners or Detroit. The Dodgers, all the games, man. I watch the end. But shout out to my cousin Bam Bam. It was good, Bam. Yeah, man. Dennis Vertana says Judge needs 2 more superstars by his side to get the job done. I mean, we thought we had that with Cody Bellinger and Giancarlo Stanton and Jazz. And man, I really think that he has the superstars. We're just not getting the most out of them. And I don't know if that's a manager thing. I don't know what it is. But for some reason, when we get players over here in New York, with the exception of Juan Soto, but he was a megastar, we never get the best out of them. We can't seem to get the best out of this team. And I don't know if that's Boone's fault or what, but we got to change something. Every year we change players. Every year we change players. The one thing that doesn't change is our managing staff. So maybe we start there, right? I don't know. It's just an idea. Just an idea. But anyway, folks, man, that's going to do it for me. I appreciate you guys, man. Look, the Yankees lost, but we are not losers, man. As a fan base, we showed up again. We supported our team. We showed up every day, day in, day out. Every day that stadium is full. Whether the Yankees are winning, losing, whether it's raining or not, the Yankee fans, we show up, man. We show up and we support our team. Unfortunately, man, the team doesn't really, they're not keeping their end of the bargain. I say that, man. But yeah, so have a good night, man. I'll probably come on tomorrow or whenever, man, because it's going to be on my mind. I'm not going to lie. Tomorrow I might be thinking about it all day and decide to get on here and just freaking rant off again or something. But we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, guys, have a blessed day. Enjoy your weekend that's coming up. And again, I want to say, look, shout out to the Blue Jays, man. You got to tip your cap to them. They freaking handed us, man. They smashed us. They put a whooping on us, man. They're the better team. They were the better team at the end of the day. And there's no denying that now. There is no denying that now. But I'll see you guys next time, man. Peace.
That fifth inning done broke my soul. I was sitting on my couch wearing pinstripes with pride. Game 5 on the line, got that Bronx fire inside. But the 5th inning came and it tore us apart. Dodgers lit us up, now I'm here with a broken heart. Vibe turned cold. Then Garrett Cole froze like his fire done rolled. A 3-run double like a ghost from days of old. Now I'm sitting here mourning in pinstripes and gold. Wow! That 5th inning blue struck out my hopes. Now I'm drowning in the booze. My friend said turn the game off, man. He said we still got time, but I just can't understand. They took our thunder, they stomped our flame. Now the whole damn Bronx feeling nothing but shame. Oh, that 5th, that cursed old 5th, took our shot at glory and tossed it off a cliff. Yankees fans crying, in that World Series miss.